All right, welcome in, folks. I'm Jake Ellenbogen. Today we're going to be talking about Scott Frost and the new coach the Rams just hired. If you're a college football fan, you probably already know him. If you're a Nebraska fan, you definitely know him. Before we dive into that, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. Also, be sure to follow me on all social media at JKBogen, including Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And, of course, a special word from our sponsor today, Prize Picks. You can sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. One Caleb Williams passing yard gets you one win on Prize Picks every week in September. That's right, 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't forget and don't miss on this deal when it comes to Prize Picks, because it's gone after September ends. I've played Prize Picks for years, and there's no better feeling than seeing your lineup light up, turn green, and seeing that payout hit your account. It's simple to play. If you haven't given it a try before, you can choose a player, select more or less based on how you think the player is going to do based on their player projections. Download the app today. Use the code JKBogen to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game. The link is in the description and the comment section below. Okay, Scott Frost. Jordan Rodriguez was the first one to report this, so shout out to Jordan. This was September 1st that this was announced, so I am a day late on this one. I just wanted to give you my thoughts. You know how it works. If I'm on top of things and news comes out and I'm ready to go, I'm going to report it as if it just came out, and I'm going to give you my thoughts right then and there, but it's going to be mainly just giving you guys the news. With this one, it's giving you my thoughts, how I see this panning out, and why I think it looks good for the rest of the league. Okay, so the Rams are hiring Scott Frost. That's no surprise, as we've already established. He's going to help with a variety of roles, according to Jordan Rodriguez, including special teams, where they have now a vacancy because they did let go Chili Davis, the assistant special teams coach. He spent some time with the Rams in OTAs and training camp. This has been in the works for a few days, says Jordan Rodriguez. He's now in a multi-faceted role with Sean McVay. So what is the role? Well, we now know that this is a senior football analyst position for Scott Frost. And, for Frost, this is a 49-year-old man who got to coach at his alma mater. That is a dream for a lot of coaches. Unfortunately, it was a nightmare. Scott Frost took a UCF team that really no one was talking about and turned them into a 13-0 team. He left UCF, went to Nebraska, and it was about as bad as could be. While at Nebraska, he was 16-31. He was 10-26 inside the Big Ten, and 5-22 in games decided by 8 points or less, and an 0-14 record against ranked opponents. Frost was fired 3 games into his 2022 season after an upset loss to Georgia Southern. That was the infamous all-she-wrote game. Now, Frost has player experience in the NFL, played with the Bucs, played with the Packers, Browns, and Jets. He was drafted in the 3rd round of the 1998 draft. And, this is definitely somebody who has taken some time away from coaching since that Nebraska firing. Before then, he made his presence known with Oregon, was a big, component there, offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach from 2013, 2015. Before that was a wide receivers coach, 2009 to 2012. Then you had Northern Iowa. He was a co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach in 2008. Northern Iowa is a linebackers coach in 2007, a graduate assistant at Kansas State in 2006. And of course, his first gig was a graduate assistant for Nebraska in 2002. The reason I bring up his history because I think it matters. You heard multifaceted. That is what Jordan Rodriguez described his role. Okay, he is going to work hands-on with Chase Blackburn, the special teams coordinator. That is going to be the case. However, he has experience as an offensive coordinator, a defensive coordinator, a quarterback's coach, a wide receivers coach, a linebackers coach. There's a lot of really good experience here. He also has head coaching experience. Now, this is great. I love this because I felt bad for Frost. Okay, I understand it's a professional, it's a business and it's professional and, that's just the way it works. But, I mean, you don't wish that on your worst enemy to have them go back to their alma mater and essentially be fired and have no success there. Nebraska was at one point a very, very highly respected and prestigious program. And now, obviously, they're trying to come back, but it hasn't been great. They thought Frost was going to be the guy to take him over the top, and that was not the case. UCF loves him, but at the same time, I'm sure UCF fans were pretty upset that, they went 13-0 and he left, and that was that. So what do we make of Scott Frost with the Rams? Well, first off, I'll say this. The most important thing for Sean McVay, I think, is when you look at these coaches, you bring them in, you're hoping to give them another, lease on their coaching life, if you will. And we've seen that. We've seen them bring in, Jay Gruden's been in before. So you've seen guys in the past. Aubrey Pleasant was literally fired by the Lions in the middle of a season, and he's back, and now he's made it so much, so far as to say that he actually head coached his first football game in preseason. They really like him, okay? And they've given him an opportunity. Now, he was there before, keep in mind. But I like the idea. You bring in a Jimmy Lake, right? Jimmy Lake is now, in Atlanta. But you give these guys a chance. And I like that. Because ultimately, I think Scott Frost wants to get back into head coaching. I think ultimately he wants to, get back into college. But this is an opportunity, and the opportunity presented itself. Now, some people will say, yeah, I don't like this. I don't like the idea of just shaking up the coaching staff right before the season. I think it's concerning. I think getting rid of Chili Davis is a big, big exclamation point and not a good one. And what I would say to that is this. Sometimes you just find things out. Right before the season, this is your time. I think too much, very too often, do we look at preseason as if it's just for the players. This is their time. This is how they're going to make a roster. I wouldn't be so sure about that. It's not just about the players. It's the coaches too. Because you're running things and you're seeing if this is going to work. And if it's not, now you can make that determining factor. You can actually decide right then and there, okay, you got 10 days before the game, is this guy going to work? And for whatever reason, if he doesn't, you can move on. Now, Jordan also pointed out in her tweet, this has been, in the works for a few days. He's been around OTAs. He's been around training camp. This is why random guys will just show up at NFL training camps and OTAs. You want to talk about networking? You know how they always say it's a very outdated thing in 2024 because you can't just go and apply for any job. You can't just walk in and give them their application. It doesn't work that way anymore, right? But it's a little different when you're in the coaching circuit. Because when you're in the coaching circuit, now a guy like Scott Frost can call in and be like, hey, I'd like to come by and see practice and chat with the coaches. And now all of a sudden, he could have an interview. And he doesn't even have to say that. It could be the Rams that invite him to practice. We've seen it many times. It happens all the time. So I have no issue with this whatsoever. I'm actually kind of excited because, Frost seems like a genuine dude, and I'd like to see him turn his career around. And, Nebraska was absolutely a nightmare scenario for him. But I think he can bounce back. Again, he's only 49 years old. And I think Sean McVay, this looks good because obviously he likes helping out people and everything. But it looks good for other coaches. Hey, if I lose my way in college, I can go to the Rams. I know Sean's going to give people opportunities as long as they work hard enough for them. That's how I would be looking at it from afar. I think it's a really good sign. And they've gone the college route before, too. They've gone after college coaches. Thomas Brown, right from college. So I like this. We'll see what he does. Obviously, we'll never know exactly what he's doing in the coaching room. But, Sean McVay always gives credit where it's due to his coaches, what have you. So I'm sure we'll hear him in pressers and what have you. But I like this because I think you get a guy that can work all over, special teams, offense, defense, has a good idea, very good football mind, has success in his career. And I like that at the end of the road, at the end of the season, he could be putting himself in a position to get back to the college coaching ranks, which is where I think he belongs. It wasn't a great run in Nebraska, and I'm sure he's aware of that. He's learned a lot. He hasn't coached since 2022, so he took a year off, and now here he is with the Rams, and we're going to see how important his impact is. Now, the question remains with that whole Chili Davis thing, and I've had people bring it up and ask, did it have anything to do with Kyron Williams being the punt returner? Did it? I mean, we don't really know, right? We don't know about any of that. Could be for show, could be a placeholder for the time being. Maybe right now Scott Frost is working with Blackburn to see who makes the most sense as the returner. I don't know. But I thought that was interesting. A lot of stuff has gone down. Weird, to be fair, very weird for the Rams as of late. And we're going to see how it pans out. That is the beauty of the NFL season. You truly never know how good your team is until you actually get to see them play. And we've seen plenty of times in the past a team that felt really good going into the season on paper, coaching, all of it, and come out flat and not be able to really get much of anything going throughout the year. Not just talking about the Rams, although 2022 injuries aided that, but I'm saying in general, we've seen plenty of teams look really good on paper. It's a matter of what you do on the field. I think at the end of the day, this makes the Rams a better football team. How much better? I wouldn't say tons better, but I think having Scott Frost and his experience and, his knowledge of the game is going to help out the coaching staff. And I think sure enough, Sean McVay very rarely misses on the coaching staff. So those are my thoughts. Obviously, I apologize in advance, Nebraska fans, for giving you some, some unpleasant memories, but that is going to do it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Be sure to check out the sponsor of this video, Prize Picks. The link is in the description below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Take care, folks. Later. Do you love talking about the Rams, the NFL, or just want to be a part of a community? Join my free Discord server today. We're over 800 members. We got 24/7 live chat, a level 3 boosted server, the ability to call into JE Live, playing online games with us on Kick streams, toggleable alerts for when I go live on YouTube or Kick so you don't miss a live stream, and exclusive giveaways. Click the link in the description, the comments section, or the link that comes up in the video to learn more and join today.